guys, it's Amanda. I'm so happy to finally get the second video in my Halloween video series out. This one is a little different than my typical type of video, but I thought these were fun and easy ideas, so I wanted to share. If you're like me and you like to entertain, stick around for some fun snack and drink ideas for both adults and kids. First, I'll be showing you how I made these cute mummy bottles. I took the labels off these clean glass club soda bottles I had. I knew I wanted to use these for something fun, so I made sure to pour the soda into a cup instead of drinking straight from the bottle. You can do this with any type of bottle or drink. I filled these with colored water because it's a fun way to hydrate, but you could fill these with juice, punch, or even wine. Or of course, just keep whatever originally came in the bottle. Okay, before I start turning this into a mummy, I wanted to remove the numbers that were printed at the top of the bottle. All you have to do is take the back of a craft knife or a butter knife and lightly scrape them off. As long as you aren't using the sharp side of the blade, this shouldn't scratch the bottle. Since these bottles have been opened, I wanted to remove the little plastic ring at the top, so I took some little clippers and clipped it off. To start creating the mummy wrap, I took some gauze squares I had and cut them into strips. I do believe they have gauze tape, which would be quicker, but since I didn't have any, I just used what I had on hand. To adhere the gauze to the bottle, I used some double-sided tape, but you could also try liquid adhesive. It just might be a little messy. When I adhere the strips of tape, I place them diagonally and randomly, making sure to crisscross and overlap them. I just keep adding strips of gauze and layering until I'm happy with the coverage. Okay, before I wrap the cap of the bottle, I wanted to add some orange food coloring, just for something fun, but you could skip this if you like, especially if it's a colorful beverage to begin with. Next, I take some Mod Podge and a foam brush and apply a light layer to the entire cap, making sure not to get any on the bottle. Then I take a gauze strip and lay it across the cap, starting at one side and ending at the other. In between each strip, I add a light layer of Mod Podge to make sure it sticks together well. I repeat these steps until the cap is completely covered with gauze. I repeat these steps until the cap is completely covered with gauze, adding one final coat of Mod Podge. You could also just paint the cap if you want to save some time. Once I'm done, I add a light coat of Mod Podge to tame all the fibers that want to make a mess everywhere, before setting it aside to dry. The final step is to add some cute little eyes. I'm using these spun ones from Doodlebug Designs, but the classic googly eyes would also be super cute. These already had adhesive, but since they're on such a rough and bumpy surface, I used some strong liquid glue to ensure they won't fall off. I love how cute these are. Okay, so for idea number 2, I made these super fun little treat bags. These are great to have at parties in place of traditional Halloween treats like candies or cupcakes. I wouldn't recommend handing these out to trick-or-treaters though. I think it's best to stick with pre-packaged sweets for them. Okay, so I take some clear treat bags that I got from the craft store and fill them with a few different goodies. For the more kid-friendly version, I'm adding some caramel corn, candy corn, fair trade milk chocolate chips, eyeball sprinkle candies, and some Halloween-colored regular sprinkles. And for something more geared towards adults, I made some with caramel corn, candy corn, white chocolate chips, and a few espresso beans. I made a few different combinations just to show that these are totally customizable. You can really add anything you want, which is great. You could even do just caramel corn or just candy corn, and once it's all put together, it will look super cute. Now that those are all filled, it's time to seal them. For the kiddo version, I wanted to make bag toppers, so I used some pattern paper from this American Crafts Bootiful Night paper pad. I measured the pieces to be 1/2 inch wider than the bag and 2.5 inches tall. I scored them down the middle and folded them in half. Before I stick these to the bag, I roll the top down and seal it with Scotch tape, making sure nothing peeks out at the bottom of the topper. To adhere these to the bag, I just take double-sided tape and stick 2 pieces down, one on each side, making sure it's half on the paper and half on the plastic. And for the more grown-up version, I just took some black and white baker's twine and tied it up with a pretty bow. You could even skip the bow if you wanted to save more time. This next idea is for adults. I think it would be a fun hostess gift, or if you're throwing a party, you can make a few and have them out for your guests. Unfortunately, my camera wasn't recording when I made the label, but all I did was measure around the bottle and the height of the original label and cut the cardstock accordingly. For the red and cream colored cardstock, I did a little ink blending around the edges just for a more vintage and distressed look. I'm not a great letterist, so I found some royalty-free fonts and traced the words from my computer screen. It'd be much easier to print this out, but my printer is on the fritz, so I did what I had to do. I have the links to the fonts I used in the description box below if you're interested. To adhere this all together, I just used double-sided tape and carefully wrapped the label around the bottle. Alright, this final idea is definitely the most simple. I just took some little black bags I got from Party City and filled them with different snacks. For something healthy for kiddos, I did a fruit squeezer and a granola bar. And for something on the saltier side, I did some popcorn and some tortilla chips. I'm such a sucker for chips and dip, so I thought this was really fun. To seal these, I just took mini clothespins and these spider doilies from American Crafts, folded the top of the bag, and clipped it all together. Super quick and easy. Okay, those are some of the ideas I've come up with. I hope you decide to try them out if you're throwing a party or in charge of school snack, or if you just want to be festive. If you have any questions or requests, please leave a comment down below. All of the products I use in this video are listed in the description box. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to stick around for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.